Okay, the next book. This is definitely one of my favorites. It's a very simple story. Okay, it's meant to, and I like the cover was really like cool, really like simple but effective.
My niece published this, and this was her handiwork.
Okay, so
And
all
it's
right.
one of the few book covers that our webmaster kept and used it for the book on for sale on the e-store on the site, because he usually does his own graphics, but this was just too cool.
All right. And this is about as raw as you get in terms of, it's just, well, how did you come up with this story of the Menthol Rampage?
Okay, so this condition I have with the eye, there's something the matter with the base of my brain, and it causes this nerve to get inflamed. It goes here, here, here. It's not it hurts for me to talk at room temperature. Okay, so I recently lived in a household where, it's a smoking household, and I was reminded of the origins of this book because when I'm having a bad cycle with this eye, one of the effects is like loss of mental acuity. I've my oxygen levels would render a lot of my normal oxygen levels when I'm right now, like I'm a little bit slow talking right now. The oxygen levels that I have right now would render most people unconscious.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so I'll take that as like a superpower. But my doctor surmised when I started getting more worried about this when I found myself having to leave Sensei Steve's house because everybody else in the house smoked. Even though I wasn't in the same room, I would just wake up and I'd start to get sick and I wanted to throw up. And then I smelled the cigarette smoke. It was not the cigarette smoke. My doctor said when I'm at this point right here, I might be highly sensitive to carbon monoxide.
Oh.
Okay, and if there's like 5 other people smoking in the house, and like a guy that stars in the last chapter of Planet Buzzkill, Jim Bob, smoked dope and cigarettes constantly from 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon till midnight on Sunday night. He lived in the basement. Okay, and it was just crazy. I would sometimes walk all the way across town if the buses weren't running to get away from that cigarette smoke. I found myself during the day and on nights when I had to work going up to the karate school that I had a key to and sleeping on the mats there.
Oh, you would do that?
Okay. And then when I was at one bus stop waiting to transfer from the 19 to the 3 to go up to the karate school, when I was almost throwing up because of this stuff, a lady lights up a cigarette. She's already been careful to step away from me before she lights up the cigarette.
Oh.
Okay, but when she lights up the cigarette, I know how sensitive I am to it. I step outside of the shelter. That's all I did. She had something bad to say to me, and she glared at me angrily, as if I was judging her.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so I thought about it. What if I was a carpenter, I worked in the trades, and I worked with guys that smoked? Okay, I remember working with a guy, a grocery manager, that smoked cigars in the stockroom while we cut and priced the order, and he would blow it right in my face.
Stogies.
Okay, so I thought, and also if there was a negative effect when I'm having one of these episodes, I would sometimes pass out when I was having sex with one of my lady friends.
No, hell.
Because I was seeing a few different ladies when I went to Sensei Steve's place.
You're a star.
So, he told me one day, because they would bring food dishes over, he told me one day, he called me Mr. Jim. He said, Mr. Jim, why don't you just quit the $10 an hour job at night and just put a sign out front, we'll fuck for food. Okay.
Fucking Steve.
He's a funny guy. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, that happened a couple of times. I passed out. Okay. you know, and I'm getting to the age where the girl's afraid maybe you're dying or something.
Right.
So this could I thought, well, I'll make J.J. Books a little twerp like me. I'll make him really skinny, okay? And he'll be really excited to have his carpenter job. And he's got a head injury, but it's from a work accident. And I gave him something that I don't suffer from, which would, in the 1970s, would have gotten J.J. Brooks a job in very bad cinema acting, okay, in Hollywood, doing like Smokers and stuff like that. So J.J. Brooks has only one good thing going for him other than the carpenter job, and guys are going to be blowing smoke in his face, like they did to me in the grocery store when I was younger. That he's got a gorgeous girlfriend, but the gorgeous girlfriend is only with him because he is extremely well endowed.
Oh.
Okay, and if you were that well endowed and you had this condition, and somebody was smoking cigarettes, just getting an erection would cause you to pass out. Okay, you know, and so then that's it. So he loses the job, loses the girlfriend, you know, like all in one fell swoop. And he runs into a lady at the bus stop that's mad at him for not wanting to breathe their cigarette smoke, and he just flips.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he goes on a rampage with whatever's in his tool.
Well, okay, so it's like, what's on Carpenter's tool belt?
Right.
How many people can he kill with this before the cops put him down?
Yeah.
So basically, he's got like 15 minutes of fame, okay, where he gets to kill people until the cops come and put him down. And there's a guy, his name's Hayes, in here, who ends up being like videoing him killing people with his phone.
Yeah.
That was a real guy that worked at the Mondawmin supermarket that got looted. That's the only supermarket that didn't get looted during the riots in that part of town, who used to do videos of his bosses and like try to get them fired and stuff like that. So that was a real dude, you know, a real supermarket dude that I ended up making JJ's video biographer, because JJ's not going to live very long.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, I mean he's a twerp with a tool belt. And
you know how this is going to end.
He does not live. Okay, and my actual doctor, Dr. Dredd, who, you know, I've written a lot about, and he's published a book titled Hands of Stone, which is a really good hardback book about being a doctor. He's in here also. Okay, he's the compassionate doctor, you know. That helps JJ.
I remember the scene with the woman in the scooter, like the scooter with all the fat asses. I remember the scene where she's trying to get away, and then the female cop, right? Like everyone's like, oh James, he's a simp for women, you know. It's like, not if they're cops, just like Ghost Dog, right? If you get my reference, watch it. So. Yeah, it's a fun book. It's a lot of fun. Like, it's small. I mean, this is the one you should get if you like. Let me dip my toe into the Mayhem.
Yeah, I wrote it like in a day.
Yeah, you wrote right.
14 chapters. I came back from the karate studio. I outlined it, and then I came home from work the next day. You know, I told Steve, if the smoking in the house doesn't stop, you know, I'm just going to find another place to live.
Right.
And he made people smoke outside.
Good.
And that gave me the ability to sit there and write for like the next, because when I came home from work, I only worked every other night. So I had like an extended day. I had like a 30-hour day to write this book.
Nice. Yeah, this is great, man.
It's one of the things I feel best about handicapped people being slaughtered by the heroes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I mean,
this is degenerate. What kind? This is nihilistic. Shut the fuck up.